He was one of Hollywood's most magnetic stars, a man whose talent and charm seemed destined to keep him at the top for decades. Tony Franciosa had it all: leading roles, critical acclaim, and a future that seemed unstoppable. But then, almost overnight, it all slipped away. What really happened to Tony Franciosa? The shocking truth behind his mysterious downfall is far more dramatic than the roles he played on screen. Tony Franciosa's rise to stardom was as sudden as it was spectacular. Born in 1928 in New York City, he came from humble beginnings. His early years were shaped by hardship, yet he found solace in performance. By the 1950s, he was working in theater, and his undeniable talent quickly attracted attention. His breakthrough came with the Broadway play A Hatful of Rain, a gritty, emotional drama that showcased his intensity. When the play was adapted into a film in 1957, Franciosa reprised his role and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Practically overnight, Hollywood had its newest leading man. The momentum didn't stop there. Throughout the late 1950s and into the 1960s, Franciosa starred in films alongside major names like Paul Newman, Sophia Loren, and Gina Lollobrigida. He was hailed as one of the most promising actors of his generation, able to balance rugged masculinity with a surprising emotional depth. Yet behind the fame, Franciosa was struggling with personal demons that would ultimately derail his career. His temper became notorious in Hollywood. Known for being fiery both on and off the set, Franciosa often clashed with directors, producers, and even co-stars. What some saw as artistic passion, others viewed as arrogance and volatility. Word began to spread that he was difficult to work with, a label that, in the cutthroat world of Hollywood, could be career poison. At the same time, his personal life was filled with turmoil. He had a string of high-profile marriages and relationships, including a brief marriage to actress Shelley Winters, but none seemed to last. His off-screen reputation became tabloid fodder, overshadowing his work. As Hollywood moved into the late 1960s and 1970s, casting agents grew wary of Franciosa. Roles that once seemed destined for him began going to other actors. Television offered him a second chance. Franciosa found success in the 1970s with series like Search and Matt Helm, proving he still had the charisma to captivate audiences. But even there, his temperament caused problems. Reports of arguments and walkouts on set followed him, and producers once again decided he wasn't worth the risk. Slowly but surely, his once bright star dimmed. What made Franciosa's downfall so mysterious was how fast it happened. One moment, he was sharing the screen with Hollywood royalty, and the next, he was fading into obscurity. There wasn't one single scandal that destroyed him. It was a mix of ego, volatility, and bad luck that compounded over time. In an industry that thrives on reliability, Franciosa's reputation for being unpredictable closed doors that might have kept him in the spotlight. Despite his career struggles, Franciosa never lost his love for acting. He continued to take smaller roles in films and television throughout the 1980s and 1990s, though the days of Oscar nominations and leading man status were long behind him. To his fans, it was heartbreaking to see such a gifted actor sidelined by his own flaws. Tony Franciosa passed away in 2006 at the age of 77, just days after the death of his ex-wife Shelley Winters. In his final years, he reflected on his career with both pride and regret. He knew he had squandered opportunities, but he also cherished the roles that had defined him and the legacy he left behind. In the end, the shocking truth behind Tony Franciosa's downfall wasn't a single scandal or betrayal. It was himself. His talent was undeniable, but so was his temper. Hollywood gave him the stage, but his inability to control his passions ultimately pushed him off it. Still, his performances endure, a reminder of a star who could have been one of the greatest, if only he had mastered the battles within.